We're two sisters with 10 adult kids between us, and we thought parenting would get easier once the kids grew up. We were wrong.
From navigating careers, relationships, and moving back in, adult kids bring a whole new set of parenting challenges.
Join us as we share real stories
Lessons learned,
and plenty of laughs.
because parenting doesn't end, it just changes.
These can't be my kids,
But they are.
Don't forget to follow,
Like,
comment,
share.
subscribe,
You can find us on YouTube,
Apple,
Spotify.
and everywhere you want to be. Hey, y'all. I am Karen.
And I'm Leela.
And welcome to another episode of These
Can't
Be My Kids, the podcast where we share real stories about raising adult children. And today's episode is not just a conversation, it's a confession. Because some of us have been wearing these superhero capes for way too long.
Listen, we done forgot what it feels like to breathe without them, girl.
Girl, sometimes they... Woo,
All right. So you went to Colorado this past weekend.
I did.
So tell us, how was it? Because we always know, y'all, when she goes somewhere with her kids, it's going to be money spent and stress had. So let's find out how her heart is doing this week.
Oh my God. We still going on about the heart.
Yes, we have to bring up the heart.
Well, first of all, I did go to Colorado this weekend. It was my granddaughter's first birthday. I did not do a wheels up this time. I actually drove.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
was
from Texas. Was that 11, 12 hours?
It was 10 and a half, but I probably made it 14.
Okay.
I did do a lot of stops, like
Okay.
touristy stops, but then I got stopped into a hailstorm that freaked me out.
Oh my goodness.
And then
that's when you called me, panicking, talking about it's hailing. I'm like, okay.
You want to talk about my heart. My heart was crazy.
Just like, I was like, it's hell. It's okay. You'll be fine.
I was feeling like, who was it to be like Elizabeth, the Sanford and Son, Elizabeth?
Oh my goodness.
That's how I felt.
She's so extra, y'all. So extra.
And then going up the mountain, I haven't been a mountain driver so long, so that gave me anxiety as well. But for the most part.
But that was a long drive by yourself. So like what else besides the hailstorm? Like the rest of the time, did you listen to music? Did you ponder? Like what was going on? Like what was going on in your
Actually, going to Colorado was, the hailstorm and everything was anxiety filled. Mm-hmm. Coming back was very emotional for me. Mm-hmm. It was really emotional because I had time to think. Yeah.
That had to be crazy because like I'm just thinking being around all of your adult children, man, the amount of like emotional toll it must take on you to kind of be with them all at once. Because like when you're here, it's different, right? They call you, they whatever, engage with you, but you could hang up, you could not answer, you could always separate yourself. But now you're in the same space with them and engaging with them in a different way.
Yeah.
And like I said in the first part of this, there's money spent and of course stress to be had. So
good things. First things first, good thing was all of my adult children were not there. So that was a great thing. Oh. It was only my two girls. Well, two of my girls. It was Christina and Michaela.
Okay.
So we were going to see Christina. So yeah. So when I left, I cried. I ain't even gonna lie, y'all.
I cried because you were leaving them? Or cried because
I cried because I was leaving. So first of all, Christina lives in Colorado, and she's away from everybody. For her, that's probably a blessing. For me, it's a freaking curse. Like, why are you that far? Right?
But when we talk about distance, right? So many kids move far away from their parents. Like there was a time in the world where families lived on the same plot of land and they all kind of was like, oh, I'm gonna just go over to Billie Jane house or whatever and kind of skipped around.
Yeah.
But that was eons ago, right? Today in the world, the parents and children don't live like next door to each other anymore. It's just not normal. I mean, my neighbor's kids, his daughter lives in Germany somewhere. One of his kids live in California. He's here in Texas. And so that's what kids do, right? They move away and they make their own lives where they are and with the people that they want to be around. And so what makes you so emotional about her being somewhere by herself?
So one of the very first things was that she was there by herself with my granddaughter. And this was the first time that I've seen her parent without all of us around.
Mhm.
Because when my oldest grandson was born, we were all there.
Yeah, and she was how old?
Okay, 18.
Okay. And now she's how old?
36.
Twice as old.
Yeah.
Twice as old. And so she probably has some parenting skills that are different from then. Right?
Yeah, but for me, her mother, to watch her there by herself as a single parent, and I was able to see some of her struggles. All I wanted to do was to help her.
Here comes the cape, y'all.
I did. I did. All I wanted to do is probably why I didn't have a buttload of money, because I probably would have gave her. She wouldn't have had to worry about nothing, right? And I probably would have just took her. I don't know, but I know when I left there, I was like, oh my God. And I felt like I was leaving, even though she's 36. I felt like I was leaving my baby behind. And to see her by herself being a single parent was difficult. It was difficult for me. So on the ride back, I was just like, oh my God.
So, I mean, when we think about that, right, you said you saw her by herself being a single parent, and it was the Pinky's first birthday.
Yes.
So she's been doing this for a year by herself. Successfully?
Yeah.
I'm asking. I'm asking. It's a question. I'm asking. So that means that she's...
Yeah, the baby ain't dead.
That means that she's capable. So...
Yeah.
But y'all, I'm just trying to understand.
Just watching her do, and to watch her do. So everything. I mean,
but watching her do it, did it not make you feel proud? Like, did it not make you say, "Wow, like she can do this"? Not, "Oh my gosh, she probably needs help." Instead, like, what made you look at it from that angle instead of saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of my baby, my oldest child. Look at what she's accomplishing on her own. Maybe I don't need to parent her as much as I need to parent my other adult children."
I think for me, it was more so of, yeah, I am proud that she was able to do it. And even now, after I've been calling her every day, "You okay?" She's like, I'm okay, I'm fine. Right? I get it. I think that it's that whole, what, you shouldn't have to do it by yourself.
Maybe not, but that's not your seat to fill, is it?
I know.
Well,
you're right about that.
Just asking. I mean,
you're right. It's not my seat to fill, but I'm watching my daughter, and I'm like, yo, she handling her business. Not gonna lie, she taking care of her deaf dog, the baby, going to work. She doing it. She doing her business. When you think about it, and not only is she doing her business, but being in Colorado has caused some hormonal issues with her in her body, and she doing it with that. And but I'm looking and I'm like, I guess a part of me is a tad bit angry that you doing this by yourself when you shouldn't have to, especially when I've already done it by myself.
But we can't change that, right?
I know.
Her doing it by herself don't have anything to do with what you did when you did it by yourself. What you did was you obviously show her how to be successful at it by herself, even though it's not the way that anybody wants it. Nobody wants to do it by themselves, right? Not one single person. There was a small period in my life where I was by myself. Small period. And I say that it was minimal, not to the same extent as you, anywhere near. But like, God didn't create us to be doing it by ourselves. God put men and women together to create children and build this life. The fact that he's sorry It has nothing to do with what you did raising her. It has nothing to do with what you taught her raising her. What does is the fact that she's accomplishing this task on her own. She's doing phenomenal at it. Right. And I get it. Like, we don't want our kids to be far away from us. I don't want any of my kids to be far away. When I moved to Texas and my oldest was still in Pennsylvania, I was like, girl, you need to come to Texas where we are, because you do want them close, especially when they have your grandbaby. So I'm not saying like the desire to want her close is wrong. I just want to know, like, why was it so emotionally sad for you to see that? That's what I'm talking about. So don't take it from that.
I get it. And you know what? As I'm sitting here thinking about this, I think it's anger. I think I'm angry that she's by herself when she shouldn't have to be, and people who I thought were going to be there for her, people that I thought were going to be there for her, like the father and godparents and friends and all this other stuff, and they weren't, and she's there by herself.
Is it that they weren't, or are they not in the capacity that you want them to be? Have they not assisted in any way in the past year with this baby?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay. No.
Okay. I'm just checking.
No. Okay.
Because when people don't show up the way we want them to show up, right, sometimes we get a little frustrated. But understanding that people have to show up with whatever's in their boundaries. Right?
You absolutely right. So, and then if Christina was probably, when she listened to this, she gonna say,
why are you calling out my people?
No. She's probably gonna say, people were in her life for a season and now that season is over. Mm-hmm. So she'll probably say that. But I think for me, there's a little bit of anger in there for me. And I feel like my baby is by herself. And because she by herself, it's my responsibility not to have her by herself because she's my baby. I think that's what it's all about.
Well, we're gonna start with the simple fact that, again, y'all, these are adult children. Or as I like to call them, juvenile adults, because they do act a little childish at times, but ain't nobody a baby.
Yeah. And then as I was dealing with all this, as I'm driving, and we talk about my heart, right? I'm driving and I'm thinking about my coworker who is not at work right now because she had a similar situation where
she had tukasupu.
Not tukasupu. Oh, she had a different form of tukasupu.
Y'all, I done learned about tukasupu, and I'm like, do you know? It's really, like, you read about it. It's super prevalent.
Yes.
It's not like it's like a once in a lifetime or rarity. It's not an anomaly. Like, lots of people have this.
Yes,
and it's crazy.
So she has a different form of it where her distress has caused protein to build up around her heart, and so it had
that means it's not gonna beat right if right, it's like it's almost like a blockage or something.
Yeah, so she had irregular beats. She had irregular beats. She had times when she couldn't breathe. It was all kinds of things happened. Anyway, she went to the hospital and they figured out what it was, but the protein had built up so much around her heart that she has to go through chemotherapy to remove it.
Oh my gosh, that's scary.
And it's all caused by stress. So as I'm driving back home and I'm thinking about this whole thing, because again, I'm emotional. There's a little bit of anger. I'm trying to figure out how I can help Christina. And she hasn't even asked for help.
She don't want it. No, not that she don't want it, but she hasn't asked for it.
No, she hasn't. Not the kind of help I want to give her. Yeah, I know. For. But, so she didn't ask for it, but I'm still trying to figure out how I could be super mom in her life, because I don't like the fact that this part, and I get it, right? This is her journey. She has to learn from her journey. I get it. She has to go through this part for herself, but it's just hard to watch. I don't like it, and I want to just be Superman.
You want to be super mama.
Yeah, and just get her out of here.
I mean, just like your body told you what you didn't want to hear, it sounds like your coworker's body is telling her something that she don't want to hear. Next time my husband try to act crazy, I'm gonna be like, oh, tukasupu, y'all, tukasupu. You breaking my heart. So we'll see if he listens, but I don't know. And this isn't funny. I mean, this is serious, because this is like serious this is health issues that people are not recognizing until it's almost too late.
And,
So,
and then it's because it's all stress related. So that was the
girl,
other thing.
I'm looking for this picture that I saw earlier. You keep talking. It's
But
okay.
then I turned around and I was talking to my other girlfriend, and she does the same thing. She's always helping her children out, always doing the same thing. And she said that over the weekend her son asked her, "Hey mom, how heavy is your cape?"
Mm.
And she was like, "What?" And he was like, "How heavy is your cape?"
So when you heard her say that, Karen, did it hit you in any kind of way? Like, I know you were listening to her story, but did it make you say, wait a minute, is my cape heavy? Am I doing this? Like, I don't know what she was trying to do for her son that made him say that to you. But if he's an adult child is recognizing that in her, you know, is that something? Because like hearing that right now, like I want to sit here, and that's why I'm looking for this picture, because honestly I just saw this picture today, and it's funny. And I don't know, y'all know AI and everybody be listening to your dog on everything, so I don't know if they heard me talking about superheroes or something that this came up. But now I have this picture that came up that's related to this same saying. I'm gonna put it in when we put the show notes up. We can put the picture up just so people can see what I'm talking about, because they won't be able to see it right now. But how heavy is your cape? Like, did she know? What did she say?
She said it made her stop and think, and then she was like, how heavy is my cape? This cape is dragging me down. And when she said it, I was like, oh wow, your cape. Oh yeah, that is definitely, yeah, it just knocks you in.
Look at all the ones.
Yeah.
So they all like this little picture, y'all. I'm gonna share it in the show notes. But it's definitely about trying to be super mom, super woman, super everything. So.
Yeah, super everything. And so, yeah, when she said it to me, I was like, oh my God, how heavy is my cape?
Mm.
And then the next question was, am I making my cape heavy, or is the adult children making my cape heavy?
All I know is it sounds like, and I think I probably have a cape too, right? Because it's what I'm hearing is like this cape. If her son is even asking her, it's like, how much does it really affect us that we're so busy with this cape that we're trying to take on everybody else's burdens, but not even really thinking about ourselves? Like, when do we take a minute and say, hold on, let me think about me instead of let me think about everybody else? And I think that's what he was probably trying to say to her, because I'm sure she was trying to do something for him.
Yeah.
And he was basically like, mom, like your cape might need to be
He was
lightened a little bit by letting me be an adult. And so we talk about all the times that our kids want us or need us to do stuff, but are we also inadvertently adding some of their weight onto our capes ourselves? And we probably are, right? Because you crying about your adult daughter who is parenting her child by herself in a good way.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not saying there's not any trials and tribulations, because anytime there's a single parent, like there's things that are missing. But overall, she sounds like she's doing a successful job of it, right? The baby, like you said, she's still there.
Mhm.
She learning and growing and walking and doing all the things that babies do.
Right.
And it's, you don't have cause of their safety, worry about their safety. It's just you don't want her to be there by herself because you feel like she shouldn't have to be.
You summed that up very well. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I'm here for, y'all.
Right? Yeah, that sums it up, right? And so,
Yeah.
this week I had to take a couple of days to release, refresh, and restore. But the weekend was nice. The drive was coming back was wonderful. Besides me having my thoughts and my tears, seeing my grandbaby was amazing. And then I realized that I have to look at the blessing in this. You already said, like, the blessing is my daughter may be alone, but she's doing a hell of a good job. My granddaughter is meeting her milestones before the milestones are expected to be met. So she's doing a great job. The blessing is I was able to go regardless to where she was to go spend the time with her. So looking at the blessings, because I read a statistics that say 60% of parents are burnt out.
I'm sure. I'm surprised it's only 60%.
Yeah, and that's a mixture between little kids and adult children.
Yeah, that's a low number, but it's a high number. I mean, it's over 50%, obviously, right? 60%, but it's because we all take on so much, right? And it's not just like you're tired or sleepy because you're not getting enough rest. It's like everything gets depleted because you want to give so much to your children, whether they're infants or whether they're adults. So,
yeah. And I wonder how many out of that 60%, what's the percentage of it, of them have tukabuko?
Tukasup. She's not even saying right. Tukasupu. Tukasupu. I don't know. I know, like, generally, you know, people don't see that, right? People see parents and people are congratulating parents. And it's like, oh, yay, I'm so happy you have, you know, you had your kid or whatever. And it's all this joy behind it. And it is joy. But, you know, we continue to serve them from infancy to adulthood, right? We still continue to do everything that we do. We keep loading our cape up with more stuff every time they ask for it. And most people don't say it, but don't say anything about it. You know, when somebody asks you how you doing, I have a coworker who his baby just turned 1, and like when his baby just turned 1, because I remember asking him, I was like, hey, your baby has a birthday coming up soon. Yeah. And he was like, yes, it's already 1 year. And I was like, it don't feel like it. And I'm like, so how are things? And he was like, you know, it's good. We're going to have a party, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, is that really what it is? Is it good? Is it? And, you know, that's a little kid, but it's like, do we just say, I'm fine, I'm good, and keep it moving? And people never really know. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why we started this podcast, right? Some of it is wanting to be able to have that community of people that are in the same situation as you, that need somebody just to talk to. Sometimes just a vent, just to tell that story, because that's how it started for us. Yeah. It was like, girl, definitely. You know what this kid did this week? Yeah. Y'all, you just won't. I mean, it's just, you know, like how I feel this week. It's just so many stories, and it's like you get this overwhelming, you know, heavy cape that, you know, if you could talk about it with people or get other advice from people, like just sitting here having this conversation with you, like you realize that, yeah, she is doing a good job and I'm just mad, but then I'm also sharing some information with you about, like, hey, it's not on you, right? Yeah. So when you have other people in your circle to help you with stuff like that, then you kind of go maybe differently.
And then you can then turn around and say, I'm not fine. Right. I'm okay. Maybe I'm okay. I'm not fine. Yeah. I'm not fine about this situation. Because I still came home and was like, oh, how can I help? What can I do? All at the same time. I got to be going to the doctor and taking care of my own situation. I was going to say, Tukasupu is still out there. Right. It ain't finished. I'm still trying to get that together, but I'm sitting up here going, okay, what can I do to help her? Let me figure this out. Let me do this. And at the same time, I'm going to keep saying this. She never asked for help. And I'm not saying that in the sense that she was prideful. I'm just saying because she obviously recognized something that I didn't recognize. She don't need the help from me that I think she needs. You know, I think she need to get her tail out of Colorado. I think she need to be around family and help raise this kid. I think she need to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But like you said, she been there for an entire year doing everything.
Actually, she's been there more than a year. Oh, yeah. She's been there more than a year away from everybody by herself, essentially. It's just a year since the baby was born. But the whole 9 months she was pregnant before that, and then the months that it took for her to get pregnant before that. So she's been there for a minute doing it by herself, making things work and figuring it out, right? And I'm not saying she hasn't ever called for help, because she definitely calls for help. But at the same time, she has been able to sustain and kind of be there. And so, you know, we have to I look at my oldest child the same way. And I'm teasing you about calling her your baby, but that's the same thing. I see my baby. That's my baby, right? That's my first child. That's always going to be your baby, the first one. And so, like, I see her and I'm like, this is just my baby. And I want to change so many things for her. But at the same time, I know that it's not within my power. And so I kind of have to step back and say, hey, even though I'm trying to be Wonder Woman, superhero mom, and all that other stuff, that I need rest from doing that. And I need to sometimes hang up my cape. Like, I can't, maybe I got a different cape for each kid, I don't know, because then that keeps the load a little lighter. But ultimately, like, sometimes we need to hang up our capes and let them be adult children and, not take on their burdens for our own. Because that's what it is. We end up taking their burdens on for us.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
And sitting here, I realize that too. It's just like,
I mean, it don't change the foolish stuff they do, but
Yeah. But and it just takes me back to my girlfriend's conversation when she said, her son asked her, how heavy is your cape? And it comes down to, if your cape is way too heavy, it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to drag you down or choke the life out of you.
Yes. And I bet you she ain't have an answer.
She did not have an answer for him, but she said she went home, she thought about it, and she immediately put a small thing to do to begin to change that narrative.
Good for her. So
that's what I thought.
It's like, go girl, go.
Yeah, that's
See,
what I thought.
That's it. Community right there, like listening and understanding and knowing, like, hey, now that doesn't mean she ain't gonna still be there for him or she ain't gonna try to do stuff for him. But at the same time, she's definitely probably saying, all right, let me start to think about me a little bit more. And that's the first step in the process,
Yes,
right?
definitely.
Just thinking about yourself and going, all right, what can I do for me that doesn't have anything to do with them? That's so hard, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I think about it, like, every day I'm like, what you doing, kid? What you doing, kid? Of course, what you doing, kid? What you doing for your life, kid? Are you doing this? Are you fixing that? Because I'm still trying to guide them, even though they're adults. It's still like, and some of them are younger adults, right? I think, when we
they
talk
need your
about
guidance.
their frontal lobe still ain't fully developed or whatever it is they say happened to them when they become adults. But
I'm starting to think the age that they said is not right.
You probably right.
They changed the stuff around so
you
much.
Probably
In the world.
right. It's like you are probably right so true. You'd be like, this cannot be somebody's frontal lobe is still developed when they could be 30 and still like messing up. You're like, what are you doing this week? What?
Exactly.
Girl, no. I don't know. It's definitely enlightening though when we think about it. And if you think about it in the concept of a cape, right? Let's think about it. Like, if we have on a cape or a jacket or whatever it is and our pockets are laden with the burdens of somebody else, it's definitely, like you said, weighing us down. Is it suffocating us? Is it choking us? Yeah. Is it still beneficial for me to continue to keep this cape on, or should I now start to try to go ahead and hang it up and put it somewhere else? Do I take this cape and I transition it to that child that I've been carrying it for?
Oh wow, whoa, that's a whole nother episode right there. So, wow, that was good.
So, we done raised them, right?
Right.
You prayed over them. You still do every day, right?
Right.
You bailed them out, lifted them up, did all the things that you have to do, held your tongue even when you didn't want to, right? Because they making decisions that is just crazy. But maybe it's time to shift that cape over to them and let them handle it.
Got to say that one for the people in the back. That was good. Mm-hmm. But I am learning that setting boundaries doesn't mean I don't love them.
Yes.
It means that I love myself enough to stop bleeding or suffocating myself or choking myself or slowing myself down. So I think that is what I'm learning in creating boundaries with my adult children. And I think my girls are really good at setting their own boundaries that keep me at back. Because again, I know Christina, as much as I wanted to help her, she set those boundaries like,
I got this.
I got this.
I got this. I've been doing this.
I'm not invalid. I'm not handicapped. I can do this
on
got
my
it.
own.
So
thank you, Nisi. Good job.
So.
Well, let's say this next week, and we'll report back to our audience so they know if it's really happening. That this week you could do one thing just for you, and let's even expand this to say, like, each week, right? We do one thing for ourselves for each child we have. So first week is just one thing for you. That's one kid. Week 2 things for yourself because you have two kids. Week 3 things for yourself for your 3 kids, and you just keep doing it. And then we include the grandkids in there, right? Because we always doing something for them too. I was talking to my daughter the other day about when my grandson coming back to visit, because he lives with his dad and he comes for Thanksgiving or he can, according to the arrangement, he can come for Thanksgiving and he come for Christmas. And so we're looking at the school calendar, and because he goes to school up north, his Thanksgiving break is literally like 3 days. It's not even like,
oh wow,
it's like it would be a flight here and then a flight back.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were trying to figure out, are we even gonna, navigate that for Thanksgiving, or did we just want to kind of do the Christmas break because of course it's longer. And, she was talking about, I got to just figure out the flight because Christmas flights are always more expensive. And, I got to save up. And because he flies by himself, it's the unaccompanied minor charge and all this other stuff. And I was like, well, let's look it up and then see how much it is so I could get my grandson. Like automatically I'm jumping in, right?
Yep.
Is it my job to make sure that he gets here to come see his mother? Absolutely not. But, here it is. Here, I want to do something. And it's not just for her. Of course, I want to see my grandson too. But it's her situation with his father that they need to navigate together. And so am I go ahead, I'm putting that right there on my cape now. Like, let me figure out how to get him here for the holidays because I just want to make sure they have that experience. And so if we kind of do it so when I say add our grandkids, so at the end of this, there will be, you'll have 6, 7,
6. Oh, well,
8. You'll have 8
9
weeks. No, wait.
You forgot about Tink.
Oh, 9. Tink, I did forget about Tink. So you'll have 9 weeks of doing something for yourself by the end of this. So I think that we'll have to report back on how that's going. This will end up going into our next season, but we can still kind of keep track and put that on the calendar. So, and I guess I have to do it too now since I didn't.
Yeah, since you wanted to carry my cape. Put a little bit of that on your cape.
I remember it's like, and think about it from this aspect, right? I'm talking about really doing something for you. That's for you, that you want to do for you. Like it could be whatever that is, but not the kid, not the grandkid, not the ministry, not the school, not anything that you're really, and I know some people say, well, helping others is what I do for me. But what do you do just for you?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do to feed your soul?
Makes sense.
So.
Okay, I got it.
We'll see.
I got it.
Yeah.
Look at her giving out homework assignment, y'all.
Homework assignments. That's right. Every time. Did she do the other one? Ask her what happened to her calendar that was supposed to be keeping track of her tukasupu. Y'all remember that one from a couple weeks ago? And I said, Karen ain't going to put nothing on the calendar. I was putting me on the calendar, but I guarantee you she still didn't put her on the calendar yet. Ask her where it's at because it ain't with mine.
I will put something on my calendar for my 9 weeks.
We'll see.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
So anyway, y'all, but if you are out there and you need some help, we got you. You could DM us your cape moment, like what you've done, what you need to fix. And we're here to try to, encourage you. Encourage
one another.
Yeah.
And have these kind of talks.
That's right. We here for everybody. We want to kind of make sure that everybody gets the same kind of support, from each other. Yeah. I don't know.
Build this community.
We're going to build this community. We're going to use a hashtag when we put this episode up, just so we can distinguish the cape ones from the other ones. Hashtag heavy cape. If you feeling a heavy cape because you've been parenting your adult children or other children, then we want to kind of make sure we get that support with each other. So you can send it a DM, you could comment, you can send us an email, stories@thesecantbemykids.com, still out there. Yep. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube,
Apple,
Spotify. As we always say, it's everywhere you want to be. So
don't forget to like,
comment, and share. And although you want to say these can't be my kids,
they really are.
Yes. So thank y'all for tuning in for another week of
These Can't Be My Kids.
And we will see you next time. Have a great night.